I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, Meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
One of the conference finals at Madison Square Garden. He can get hot. Williams has been hot all night. Falling away. Got it! And a 1-0 from Cease. He smacks the ball to left center field, and he's tied it up. Otani's given up a run, and now he's knocked in a run. Back to square one. The 1-1 pitch to him is bounced gently, left side. Tough play, Muncy hurries the throw over there in time to end the inning. Shohei Ohtani has to work hard in his first inning back on the mound. Padres get one. Ohtani's back.
3 runs here. Starting to rain a little bit harder, by the way.
Here's a poke, fair, down the left field line. Shotwell's going to give the Angels the lead. Christian Moore scores. Shotwell's at second, an RBI double.
That's shown a wow to you, Wayne.
You tell him, Wayne. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to the Sam Bourquin Show, the Tuesday edition, 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over this great world at AM1310WDPN.com. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to another 8-minute power storm in Alliance. And now the sun's out again. I thought I'm going to be, well, you know, radio people embellish. I was going to say, I'm being God's honest here. I thought the end was coming about 15 minutes ago when I saw these formations. I went outside. I took a video because I told my wife, I think we're going to get the big one over here. She goes, shut up. Bah, 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 bah. So I wanted to take a video and send it to her. And I thought, oh my God, look at these formations. Look at the clouds. Look at the cumulus nimbus in the cirrus, in the stratus. We're in trouble. We're going to get one. And I waited, and I just heard the, and all of a sudden I can see Toto popping out of the box on the bike from the Wicked Witch. I'm thinking, we're going to get it, man. It's all over. It's all over. Call your friends and loved ones. And then I waited another couple of minutes. Like, it's just going to be scary. So I went back in the office in the back. I come out 3 minutes later. It's a deluge, an absolute downpour. Parking lot was already getting flooded, but there was no lightning, no thunder, and very little wind. It was the weirdest thing ever. And now just about 5-6 minutes ago, if you're over here in Alliance, the sun just came out. And I bet you at the bottom of the hour, when I go out during our break at 3:30, I bet you it looks like it's going to start raining again. It's incredible. The weather has just been unbelievable.
We live in a special state for that, Sam.
Oh, is that what they say?
We really do. No,
yeah.
I really think Ohio. We don't get extreme weather, but we get weird weather.
Well,
inconsistent.
I think we are in line for some extreme heat and humidity Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It looks like we're going to get our first 100-degree field days of the summer. So we got that to look forward to. But welcome into the show, everybody. I'm glad I hope you've had a great day so far. Thanks for stopping in here on 1310 WDPN. Don't forget the live stream on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. Hello, all of you out there that are listening and watching right now. Lots to get to this afternoon. Guardians and Giants start a 3-game series out in San Francisco tonight at 9:45. So it's going to be 9:45, 10:45, 11. Yep, going to be after midnight tonight by the time the Guardians are over. But Night Owls, rejoice. Baseball tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are within one game of winning the NBA championship. They took out the Indiana Pacers last night, beat them 120-109. So, Sal, if you're out there listening, you're welcome, my friend. I said to tease that baby, get that extra 3 points, make it 12.5. You should be a winner there. And I really loved the over last night. That hit easy. So I hope you cashed in on that, my friend. Stanley Cup Finals tonight, Game 6. Could be over. Could be over tonight. The Florida Panthers are 1 win away from hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup. But they'll have to do it tonight, or it'll go a Game 7. I'll be tuned into that tonight. Tonight's a pretty good sports night for, the middle of June? It's not too bad. You got the Stanley Cup Finals tonight about 8. Excuse me. Then you got the Guardians about 9:45, 10 o'clock. Good stuff. We got On This Day in Sports History coming up. And, of course, our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. We're going to check in with Lake Center Christian baseball coach Shane Byler at 4:10 today. I wanted to give Coach a couple of days, and I even texted him. I said, look, I want to let the dust settle a little bit. I'd love to have you on, talk about the recap of your great season, the experience at the state Final Four, playing in Munson Stadium on a Saturday, Canal Park on a Sunday, what it was all about, how you felt, what was the experience. And it was a heartbreaking loss. And I said, I'm going to give you a couple days. And if you want to come on, cool. If not, completely understand. So Coach going to come on today, and we're going to talk about the incredible run, the incredible season by Lake Center Christian. That'll be coming up at 4:10 this afternoon. Working on some stuff for tomorrow as we continue to roll past the College World Series, college baseball. We're going to crown a champion this weekend. And I reached out to pitching coach at Kent State, Mike Birkbeck, today. I want to see if Coach will come on tomorrow, and I would love to take a little trip down memory lane. Remember we were talking about Kent State on the show yesterday? That incredible season they had 2012. MAC champs. They beat Kentucky in a regional. They beat Oregon in a super regional. And then they went to Omaha. And they won a game in Omaha and eventually got knocked out by South Carolina. But it was a hell of a year for Kent State baseball. And Berkey's a great guy. Great baseball guy. Just a great human being. And he was the pitching coach on Scott Strickland's staff that year. And I reached out to Coach, and we'll try to get him on tomorrow. I want to relive the 2012 Kent State baseball season, some of the guys on the team, and just what that was like. Because, you know how hard it is to get to the College World Series as a MAC or a mid-major? Kent State did it. And I was doing a little research on that today. I had completely forgotten. Remember the Kent State versus Kentucky game in the regional? 21 innings. I completely forgot about that. Like, how do you forget about a 21-inning game in a regional? Well, I did. And I went back and I read about it, and I thought, oh, my God, just incredible. So I'm hoping to get Coach Berkey on tomorrow and talk about the 2012 Kent State baseball team. I think we got a really good poll question of the day today. Now, we would like to think every poll question is good. I think today's really good. Pretty simple question, but it's going to take a little bit of thought. And the show poll question of the day is, what's the hardest thing to do in sports? And I listed 4 things as follows. A, throw a perfect game. B, shoot a hole in one. C, bowl a 300. 4, run a 4-minute mile. Now, I want you to think about all those possibilities. And you could take this a couple of different angles if you want. You can think about it, how hard it is for a professional to do it, or just anyone. Because some of the comments I've gotten, well, hole in one is easy, which it's not. but there's a lot of luck involved there. Throwing a perfect game, you're relying on your catcher and all your fielders as well as yourself to get that done. Bowling a 300, it's just you, the bowling ball, and the pins in the alley. That's it. Still very hard to do. And then D, run the 4-minute mile. Now, obviously, somebody who's in cross country or track or distance running, they might say, oh, that's easy. Well, if you're not, then it isn't. But I still think it's very hard to do. I don't know how many people have actually run a 4-minute mile. I know it's been done. But just think about that list. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? The hardest feat to accomplish? A, throw a perfect game in baseball, shoot a hole-in-one in golf, throw a 300 in bowling, or run a 4-minute mile. I would love to get your thoughts on that today. 330-821-1310. You can also text in at the 330-924-7088. You can also take the poll question of the day at AM 1310 WDPN on Twitter, on Facebook. You can also drop comments in on the Q92 Radio Facebook page, my Facebook page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. And you can also watch us on the WDPN Twitter page and Facebook page as well. I think this is fascinating. And I look at it, okay, I just looked at it from my point of view. Okay, I was a pitcher. I threw a perfect game, but it was Little League. It was Little League. And I think it was only 5 innings because our team was up 10-plus runs. And then if you're up by 10, the game's over. So you have to play at least 5 innings, and the game was over. And I threw a perfect game. I think I was like 12. Really cool, really special. Didn't even realize what the hell I was doing in the middle of it. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old. I mean, come on. I'm thinking about going to Dairy Queen after the game. I wasn't thinking about a perfect game. And I threw I threw a few no-hitters too as I got older. But to throw a perfect game, major league wise, high school, college, and the reason I brought that up was because a kid from Arkansas threw a no-hitter yesterday in the College World Series. So, I think about throwing a perfect game. You think about shooting a hole-in-one. I have never had a hole-in-one in my life. First time I picked up a golf club was probably at my grandparents' house, which their backyard, ironically enough, if I would hop over the fence in their backyard and I would walk maybe 50, 60 feet up over this one hill, that was hole number 8 at the Arrowhead Golf Course. So I would go up there all the time and just practice putting and chipping until I saw a golfer or somebody who I thought was like a golf course marshal. Then I got the heck out of there, hid behind a tree, went down the hill, whatever. But my grandfather he loved to golf, golfed in leagues, kind of showed me the ropes a little bit. He says, hey, up over that hill's hole number 8 of the golf course. You go up there and do what you want. Just be careful. You're not related to me if you get in trouble, he said. So that was fun. I never had a hole-in-one ever. I've been close a couple of times, years and years and years ago, but close doesn't count. It's hard to do. Yeah, there's some luck involved, and I'm sure some courses, some of the holes are easier, quote unquote, to get a hole-in-one than others, but it's still hard. Bowling, throwing a 300 perfect game. I have also bowled. I would say not a whole lot, but I've bowled, and I bet you I haven't had more than a 145 in my entire life. I'm terrible. So bowling a 300 for me, so far probably the hardest thing to do. And then running the 4-minute mile, forget it. That's never going to happen. That's really, really hard to do. And I know it's been done, but it's hard. What do you think? What is the hardest thing to do in sports? Throw a perfect game? Shoot a hole-in-one, bowl a 300, or run a 4-minute mile? Hit us up. Drop the comments in on all of our social media platforms, or you can give us a ring at 330-821-1310.
Hey, Sam.
What do you think over there, man? What would be the hardest thing for you to do?
We'll get to me in a second because good God. But
okay.
Ryan Keller is chiming in from vacation.
Keller!
We love Keller over here. He says, first of all, he said, boy, what a tough question. And then he came in to say that for me, it's between a perfect game and a 4-minute mile. So we appreciate Keller taking time out of his beautiful vacation for us. Thank you.
What are you doing on the computer?
What are you doing,
there,
Keller? Go get a drink or something. Get out by the pool.
Be on the beach or something.
Yeah.
Trap a muskie, something.
Oh, he's on his way back.
No,
he's in the airport.
Come back here and trap this damn raccoon. It's been running around here. Get that done. So yeah, perfect game, hole-in-one, bowl of 300, or run a 4-minute mile. That is tough.
So
that is tough.
As to me, I'm just about the most unathletic person you're ever going to meet. So I'll look at it from the other perspective. And I think for professionally, it's got to be a perfect game because it's not just you against like one element, like the wind or, physics with bowling or just yourself in the running. But you got to go against a whole other team of guys who are trying to hit the ball you're throwing. So, yeah, I think a perfect game is probably overall the hardest.
I would say because there's so many different
there's so many factors involved.
So many factors. Exactly. Baseball tonight, by the way, speaking of perfect game, who knows? You might see somebody throw one against the Guardians tonight. The Giants and the Guards out in San Francisco, first pitch at 9:45. Robbie Ray against Slade Ciccone, game 1 of that 3-game series. Hey, don't forget, we also have our On This Day in Sports History today. And again, we'll check up with Lake Center Christian baseball coach Shane Byler. We'll kind of relive their great year and their run during the state tournament. He'll be coming up at 4:10 this afternoon. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Don't forget news and weather coming up here in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, you can dial us up. You can text, you can tweet, you can comment. Phone lines, 330-821-1310. You can text at 330-924-7088. If you're out and about, be careful of the weather. The Sam Bourquin Show continues in a moment on 1310.
Looking to beautify your home with all the colors of the season? DeHoff's Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping has 32,000 square feet of greenhouses filled with blooming and beautiful flats of annuals and perennials. So you'll find everything you can imagine and more. Their hanging baskets are overflowing with splendor, plus they have a huge selection of all your favorite hardy vegetable plants. In DeHoff's nursery, you'll find thousands of trees and shrubs on 1.5 acres. And right now, the rhododendrons are blooming beautifully in lush and novel colors. The vibrant blooms of the easy-to-maintain knockout roses will knock you out. DeHoff's decorative bird baths, statues, and pottery will add the perfect accent to your landscape. Just a mile south of State Street on the corner of Beach and Beechwood is a wonderland of color. That's DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping in Alliance.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, welcome back to the program. Hey, I just heard from Kent State pitching coach Mike Birkbeck. He is in. He is in for tomorrow. We just got to work out a time. So we're going to talk a little 2012 Kent State baseball tomorrow. The great year they had in the tournament run, the College World Series, the whole deal. Tomorrow here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. So get a hold of your fellow Kent State baseballers and the alum and your friends and family. We're gonna go down memory lane tomorrow, talk a little Kent State baseball with Coach Mike Birkbeck here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Okay, we got a couple minutes before we get to the bottom of the hour.
Ooh, I did want to let you know, because I'm sorry, you're going to love this. Sal texted in.
Oh, good.
He wanted to let you know that he banged that 12.5 last night. Yes, he did.
Yes. Atta boy, Sal. You have to ask him if he took me over, too, because that was a strong play last night.
I'm sure he'll let us know. I got the text line on open for him. So
I love the way he says he banged the 12.5.
Oh, no, it's all in caps. He
That's
was very
just
enthusiastic.
You know what that means? Sal is a rich man today. If he said that in caps, oh, he banged the 12.5. I love it. Absolutely love it. I was on the over last night. I told you during the show that was going to be the play, and but I am not a rich man. But I did hit that one. I hit that one yesterday. All right, we got the news. We got the weather coming up at the bottom of the hour. On the other side, we will dig in to our poll question of the day. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? This will give you a couple of minutes to think about it. A, throw a perfect game. B, shoot a hole in one. B, bowl a 300. Or D, run a 4-minute mile. Just think about that. We'll get into it when we get back here on the other side. Lake Center Christian baseball coach Shane Byler coming up at 4:10 today. We got On This Day in Sports History. We'll preview the Guards of the Giants. We'll take a look back at last night's Thunder Pacers game. And Stanley Cup tonight. This could be it. The Panthers, with one more win, will hoist the cup again. All right. We'll take a break. News and weather next. 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Residents of Iran's capital were seen leaving the city, and shops and the historic Grand Bazaar were closed today, the fifth day of an intensifying conflict with Israel. President Trump says the U.S. knows where Iran's supreme leader is hiding, but doesn't want him killed for now. His post on social media came a day after he urged the immediate evacuation of Tehran, home to some 9.5 million people. On the roads out of Tehran to the west, traffic stood bumper to bumper, and long lines could be seen at gas stations. Iran and Israel continue to trade missile attacks today. Israeli strikes damaged an underground uranium enrichment site that's been monitored by the UN Atomic Energy Agency. At least 24 people have been killed in Israel and at least 220 in Iran. Sirens in Tel Aviv have been going off all day. ABC's Marcus Moore says leaders in the surrounding region are watching what will happen next.
We know that Jordan's King Abdullah, which, by the way, people in Jordan were receiving air raid sirens as well, and urged to get to a safe place. King Abdullah in Jordan saying that there must be an end to this fighting. And he said that Israel's strikes on Iran marked a dangerous, quote, dangerous escalation.
Officials say a Russian missile and drone bombardment killed at least 15 people and injured 156 others in Ukraine overnight, with the main barrage demolishing a 9-story apartment building in Kyiv. It was the deadliest attack on the Ukrainian capital this year and came as 2 rounds of direct peace talks have failed to make progress on ending the war, now into its 4th year. The city's military administration says 14 people were killed and 138 others were injured in the capital as explosions echoed for hours. Russia has repeatedly hit civilian areas of Ukraine with missiles and drones. The UN says the attacks have killed more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians. Amid concern by some over safety of artificial food dyes, the Kraft Heinz company says it will immediately stop launching any new products in the U.S. with artificial colors. ABC's Chuck Sievertson reports.
Kraft Heinz makes ketchup, Ore-Ida potatoes, Philadelphia cream cheese, and Jell-O, among other things. The company says it's already removed the dyes from 90% of its products and intends to make that 100% in a few years. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr.'s claimed artificial food dyes are contributing to chronic illness. Studies have linked some food dyes to behavioral changes in children and cancer in animals. Many are banned in other countries.
It's 77 degrees and Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon with a high around 80. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a low near 68. Partly sunny Wednesday with a chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 83. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Don't miss the Canton Concert Band live at the Canton Palace Theater, Wednesday, June 18th at 7 p.m. Experience the power and passion of one of the area's oldest musical ensembles, and admission is free. Join us for an unforgettable night of all your favorite patriotic pop, show tunes, and more when the Canton Concert Band takes the stage this Wednesday at 7 with their free concert for the community at the historic Canton Palace.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the program. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I took that little walk during the 3:30 break. It's sunny again. Puddles are dissipating, and the humidity is climbing. But I think it's going to rain more. So if you're out and about, be careful today. Watch out for the standing water. All those things you got to worry about when you're driving around in inclement weather. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We're with you until 6 o'clock today. Don't forget, every morning, start your day with Rex in the morning, 6 a.m. here on 1310 WDPN. Then John Tesh rolls in. Music and entertainment and information for your life from 10 until 3. And then we roll in here at 3 o'clock. Myself, Ryan Rainsberg, and all of you joining us every day. We certainly do appreciate that. The Sam Bourquin program, Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Poll question today. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? A, throw a perfect game. B, have a hole-in-one. C, bowl a 300. D, run a 4-minute mile. What do you think? Drop us a note on all of our social media platforms, and we'll read those during the show today. Jimmy Kincaid, he says, a hole-in-one. How many have run a 4-minute mile? There's 300 games all the time in bowling. Hole-in-one every day? Maybe. Only been 24 perfect games in Major League Baseball. Many more in college and high school, sandlots, Little League, etc. Another question, how many have caught 2 perfect games? The answer is Ron Hasse. He caught a Lenny Barker perfect game in 1981, and he caught a perfect game by Dennis Martinez in 1991. I forgot about El Presidente in 1991. We just talked about Lenny Barker's perfect game a couple of days ago, but I forgot about Dennis Martinez. Man, where would we have been without him? The Indians in the 1995 run for the World Series. Huh? Where we would have been about that? Kim says the hole-in-one, toughest thing to do. Scott says hit the pick 6. Now, how about the pick 3? How about the rolling cash? You know, we've been mostly I, have been playing the rolling cash 5 since I was old enough to legally play. So that would have been, how old do you have to be to gamble? 21? buy a lottery ticket in 21. So I am 34 years, almost daily, have never, ever hit the rolling cash 5. You got to hit 5 numbers. There's no bonus ball. There's no mega ball. It's just hit 5 numbers. And I think they're 1 to 40, 1 through 40. I kid you not. I've been playing that for 34 years. Have only hit 4 numbers once. That pays 300. 34 years. Multiply 34 years times 365. Yeah. Still haven't won it. But I'll keep playing. I'll keep trying. Brian Kunkel says, throw a perfect game. Got to be the hardest thing to do. Tom Cackley says, throw a perfect game. Doug in the PTO says, absolutely, Sammy, a perfect game. Wayne says, hardest thing to do without a doubt is throw a perfect game. Jim Baumgartner says, a hole in one. John Appleby says, hole in one. Sean Broom, Mike Kane, Reese Miller, Carl Stacy all say, throw a perfect game. My man Rocky coming in. Must be on the road, driving that big rig. He says, throw a perfect game. But the 4-minute mile is not far behind. Hole in one is definitely the easiest, he says. Any hack can do that. It just takes one lucky swing. Rocky trying to start a fight on the show here. Robin Eves says, D, run a 4-minute mile is the hardest. He says, I can be dedicated to running and still not break the 4-minute mile. Lucky to do a 10-minute mile nowadays. Doug says, perfect game is the hardest. There's too many X factors that can ruin a perfect game. Outside of the pitcher throwing darts where they need to be. Catcher calling the wrong pitch, fielding errors, idiot manager pulling the pitcher before the 9th inning. That's a great post. Donald DeGasperis. Don, hope you're well. He says, I would say a hole in one. Takes a little bit of luck, but my brother has 2 already. What's the hardest thing to do? Perfect game, hole in one, bowl the 300, or run the 4-minute mile?
Our very own Christian Biggleworth himself says 4-minute mile. I'm wheezing just thinking about it.
You and me both.
I agree so deeply.
You and me both. You know, it would be hard for people to believe as they see me now. I used to swim. I used to run track and field. I played baseball for 22 years I played baseball. I've golfed. I've done all this stuff. But I cannot believe that one point in my life, now obviously I was a lot younger, in a lot better shape. Man, I used to run the track team. I ran the 100-yard dash. I ran the 60-yard. I did the 440. I did the 1600 relay. And not to say that I wasn't dying, but I did it. I couldn't run from here to my car without probably falling over. I'm being serious.
I'm with you, Sam.
I couldn't if I hopped out of this stool, I ran out of this studio, I ran down the hall, opened the doors, and sprinted to my car, I would be completely out of gas. Which is pretty embarrassing because from here to the car is really not that far of a run. But I would be huffing and puffing like yeah. So there's that. But man alive, what a great thing it is to be in shape. I'm so far from that right now. We're working at it though. We're working at it. I got to tell you, since I started here full time, I believe my wife and I were talking about this the other night. I think it was April the 28th. So a couple of days in April, all of May, and half of June. So that's 30, 45, about 50 days. I bet you I've gained 10 pounds. I know I've gained 10 pounds. It is so hard to, because I go to the Y at night after work. Now, I'll do some other things after work, and then I'll hit to the Y. I'll get there about 8:15-ish, something like that, and stay till about 9:30. But I need to. Look what I did today, Rainsburg. I brought those Corny McGee's in from Mally's Chocolates.
You're not going to get me to say anything negative about that.
Oh, weren't those good? I told you. I told you how good those were.
I'm almost mad you gave me one because now I have to go find more. You've cursed me.
I brought the bag in from home, and there was like 6 of them in there. And the nice guy that I am, I'll give Rainsburg one. I think he'd like it. And I ate the other 5, and they were gone within a snap of a finger. Gone. And I guarantee you, those are I bet you they're 200-300 calories a piece. I bet you. Wolfed them down. I had a frozen dinner for lunch today. Killed that. Little Debbie, killed that. A thing of peanut butter cracker. All before I went on the air. And guess what I'm doing now? Yeah, I'm waving. I'm trying to get some kind of exercise, and I'm moving around and bobbing my head back and forth and shaking up and down in the chair. But I'm sitting. I'm getting no exercise. And I'm going to be in this chair until 6 o'clock. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk down the hall. I'm going to go back in the office. And what am I going to do? I'm going to sit. And I'm going to go over the show and get ready for tomorrow. Record some things, delete some things, write up some stuff, get a plan together for the rest of the week. So now it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to go out to the car. What am I going to do? I'm going to sit. Then I'm going to drive. I'm going to be in the car for 25, 28 minutes to get back to Canton, all right? And then if I got some stuff to do, whether it's picking up something, whatever. You know what guys do after work? They think they're doing important things. They're really doing nothing. That's what I do. And then I go to the Y.
Hey, those nothing things are very important.
We act like I got a thing to do. I got some stuff to do.
Very important business.
Yeah, I got to take care of a thing. You know what I mean? So, and then I go to the Y. And then I finally do something that's, of physical exertion. And I shower up, and then I come back home. And you know what I do? I sit down. And then you know what I do? At about 1:15, I go to sleep. And then I get up, and we start the whole thing over again. What I have to do is try to get something in before I come into work. It's probably too early. I'd love to mow the grass. Just to do it, just for the exercise. Crisscross, mow it, whatever. Just so I'm getting exercise. Leave the blade where it is, but just to get some movement going. But it's too wet. The dew is on there. It's impossible to do. Now, I could probably walk around the neighborhood. I could jog. Well, I could walk around the neighborhood. I could do that. I do have some dumbbells in the garage. I think they're like 20-pounders. I could probably, do those, do some curls or whatever. Get out there and scream and holler, look at me, everybody. I could do that. And then shower up and get ready to come into work. Maybe I should start doing that. That way I'm getting some physical activity in before work, and I'm getting some in after. Maybe that's the way for me to go. But I'll tell you, I put on 10, 12 pounds since I've started, just because I'm sitting. I'm sitting a lot. And then Keller is always ordering DoorDash, all right? And I can't say no, so I fall into the DoorDash trap all the time. And then I still go down to said convenience store down the street here almost every day to get a Polar drink. I don't get a Polar Pop. I get a Polar drink. It's usually lemonade or fruit punch or tea. So there you go. That's 44 ounces of nonsense, right? And then they've got that $3 deal down there where you get the Polar Pop, the chips, and a hot dog. I mean, for $3, that's almost like stealing. So I feel obligated 2 or 3 days a week to do that. So yeah, put a few pounds on here. Got to get active again. We got a big garage sale this weekend in the neighborhood. Maybe I'll work some steam off there, bringing stuff up from the garage or from the basement out to the garage, setting up the tables. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be good. Let's see. Sam, as far as the lottery goes, I won $250 on a scratch off in 1993 and $275 on another scratch off 2 years ago. Other than that, not much over $50. Ha. Hey, keep buying, keep scratching. You're bound to hit. You're bound to hit something at some point. Rainsburg, you play the lottery? You buy tickets?
I have worse luck than that person. So I did. There was a point, but you can only lose so many times before you're just like, yeah, this ain't happening for me. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going on 34 years with the rolling cash 5. I haven't won yet, but it does not deter me from trying.
I admire your optimism.
I know.
Sometimes you got to cut your losses.
It's only $1.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know what? I want to do that. I want to do that quick math. Let me find my calculator here. Okay, so 34 years. All right, so 34 times 365. Oh my God, that's 12,410 days. So I spent $12,410 on the rolling cash 5.
Could have bought a boat with that.
Since I was 21 years old.
Could have bought a jet ski. Could have bought a motorcycle.
Could have went to the casino.
Yeah, there you go. Could have doubled that money.
Could have done all that good stuff. That's unbelievable. All right, let's take a break. 10 minutes till the top of the hour. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? Throw a perfect game, get yourself a hole-in-one, bowl of 300, or run a 4-minute mile. We'll come back. We'll get back into that. We'll take a preview of the Guardians and the San Francisco Giants out in the Bay. It's all coming up on 1310 WDPN.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? Come out to Copeland Oaks for our annual Classic Cruisin' on Sunday, July 27th. Gates open at 10 a.m. with registration until 1. Enjoy free food, music, and lots of fun. Join us Sunday afternoon, July 27th for the Cruisin' on the Copeland Oaks Retirement Campus, just off Route 62 near Sebring. $5 registration for classic vehicles. All proceeds benefiting a local charity. Dash plaques and trophies will be awarded for classic cars. Copeland Oaks, family fun.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the program, 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. You can watch and listen right now on the WDPN radio station. We love that, 1310, old terrestrial radio. Still works, by the way. Radio is still really, really, really good, okay? You can also listen and watch on the WDPN Twitter page, Facebook page, and the Q92 Radio Facebook page, and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got about 7 minutes till we get to the top of the hour. And Rainsburg, you got a little Guardians, little something over there going on?
Yeah, Christian is just chiming in left and right. So we thank you for listening, Christian. We love you. He first said that he tells everyone about the Circle K hot dog chip and Polar Pop combo.
No, don't be telling everybody about that. Because then I'm going to go down there and they're going to be out.
Sam, I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's not that big of a secret.
It's
Everybody
not?
in Alliance knows about that.
Everybody knows?
That's why there's like 3 Polar Pops in town, or 3 Circle Ks in town. But he also wanted to know if you think the Guardians are at a crossroads starting tonight. So,
yes. Yes, I believe the Guardians are in a crossroads tonight, and I'll tell you why. They are 70 games into 162. They're a 500 team, and they have been wavering a couple of games over. They've been as much as 6 and 7 games over, but they have hit the skids right now, and they're going up against the San Francisco Giant team who just made that huge deal the other day, getting Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox. The San Francisco Giants ain't playing, okay? They're trying to catch the Dodgers. They want to go to the playoffs, and they want to win a World Series. Funny what you can do when you actually want to spend money and do something. Dolan. So I think they're at a crossroad. They're 9.5 behind the Tigers. Forget the division. And now they are slowly sinking further and further away of a wild card spot. They're not hitting the ball. Their pitching has been a little erratic. They're not playing, Tito used to say what? Play good, clean baseball. We're not doing that. We're getting 3 errors this game, 1 error this game, 2 errors the next game. We're not playing clean baseball. We're not playing fundamental baseball. And you can put some of that on Stephen Vogt. I'm not going to put a lot of it. I'll put like 10% on that. I think he's doing the best that he can with what he has. If you step back and think about last year, the unbelievable season the Guardians had, the start that they got off to, the huge lead in the division that they had, it was over by the All-Star break. It was over. All they had to do was cruise into the playoffs. Everything came together. The pitching, the hitting, the base stealing, the defense. Stephen Vogt managed his butt off last year as a rookie in that position. Excuse me. Never been a manager before. Hell, he just retired from the game not that long ago, and now he's in charge of a team that was left by one of the legends, the iconic managers of all time, Tito Francona. It was like everything came and it was perfect. Oh, we were also very healthy for the most part. Now, we had some injuries here and there, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So could you say there was a little bit of luck? Absolutely. Absolutely. But then you traded off Josh Naylor. You traded off Andres Jimenez. Why? Money. That's why. Look, I know those two weren't the second coming of, Reggie Jackson and Cal Ripken Jr., but you traded away a good chunk of power. You traded a great chunk of defense. I mean, he could pick it with anybody in Major League Baseball. You went out, you got Carlos Santana. The feel-good story. But like I said yesterday, we were talking about you got two guys on this team. You get two. You get two marketable players, two good players. One's going to be a Hall of Famer, Jose Ramirez, and one's going to be really good. And I think Stephen Kwan, if he continues to play the way he does and handle his business and handle himself the way he does, I think Stephen Kwan could play 14, 15 years. I do. And be really good. But that's all we got. I mean, you can't keep running Gabby Arias and Bo Naylor and Kyle Manzardo and Daniel Schneemann. What are we doing? You're not going anywhere with those guys. You're not going anywhere. So a long story short, yes, they're in a crossroads. And to me, I think it's time to quit watching the scoreboard in the division. The division's over. I'm calling it right now. What is today, June 17th?
Yes.
I'm calling it. The division's over. Detroit Tigers, American League Central Division champions, stick a fork in everybody else. So forget about that. Forget about watching and seeing what the Tigers are doing. You better keep your eyes on the wild card. And you better keep your eye on yourself. Because right now where you're at, and if you don't have a decent weekend against San Francisco, and you got your dauber down, and you go into the thriving metropolis of Sacramento, California, and you play the A's in that minor league ballpark, and you just don't have your wits about you, you're thinking about what happened the series before that, you might be coming home at like 36-40. And then I'd say you're in big trouble. I'd say you're in really big trouble. So we'll see how it all starts tonight. 9:45 first pitch. Guards and Giants out at the Bay. Slade Ciccone and Robbie Ray. Game one of a 3-game series, and we'll see if the Guardians can get it together. The news, the weather, all coming up at the top of the hour. Lake Center Christian baseball coach Shane Byler is going to join us at 4:10, and we're going to take a look back at the magical season that Lake Center Christian had and their run to the championship game in high school baseball. All that and more. Our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. We'll talk NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, this day in sports history. All that and more coming up on 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Days of missile strikes between Israel and Iran continue to escalate, and now President Trump is calling for Iran's unconditional surrender of its nuclear program. A Republican has introduced a measure to limit U.S. involvement in Iran. GOP Senator John Thune is reacting.
Well, I think right now the president's within his authorities. He obviously has a lot of authority as commander-in-chief to respond to incidents that happen around the world. Obviously, we have a lot of military installations, bases, military personnel in the region right now. And so I think he's perfectly within his right to do what he's done so far.
A 3-judge panel in appeals court is hearing arguments on President Trump's deployment of California National Guard to help deal with unrest in Los Angeles. A lower court last week ordered control of state troops to be returned to California's governor. And retail sales slumped in May, a sign consumers are pulling back on spending. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become
Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. A man accused of gunning down a Minnesota legislator and her husband targeted dozens of other lawmakers, including Congresswoman Amelia Sykes. The Akron Democrat says she was contacted by Capitol Police and told her name was among those of lawmakers and evidence found in the possession of 57-year-old Vance Bolter. He was arrested June 15th, one day after allegedly fatally shooting a former Democrat House Speaker and her husband and wounding a Democrat Minnesota senator and his wife. The incidents occurred at the victims' homes. Authorities have not provided a motive. Bolter is charged with federal counts of murder and stalking and state charges. Sykes called for an end to divisive political rhetoric. 2 inmates at the Indian River Juvenile Correctional Facility accused of attacking a fellow inmate have been sentenced to the maximum 8 years. Jordan Worthy-Sturdivant and Carry-On Dukes were convicted of felonious assault last week by Stark County Common Pleas Court jury. The pair were seen on surveillance video in March beating the other inmate and slamming him onto his head. The sentences could be extended to 12 years if any infractions are committed while in state prison. A third defendant was convicted of a misdemeanor and sentenced to 180 days in the county jail. It was the third incident of violence leading to charges at the Massillon facility within a year. Louisville City Council Monday approved a gas aggregation issue on the November ballot. WDPN's David Schurer reports.
Voters will be asked to approve a gas aggregation program with an opt-out provision designed to provide lower natural gas rates not otherwise available to individual gas purchasers. Council also approved contracting with McBurney Concrete of Navarre for the 2025 ramp replacement and sidewalk programs. Revisions to the property maintenance ordinance dealing with trees, weeds, shrubs, and litter, and joined other Ohio municipalities in opposition to the pending legislation, which would eliminate collection of inside millage on property tax.
A Brimfield Township man is convicted of killing his wife. On Monday, 37-year-old Eric Cunningham was found guilty of murder and felonious assault by Portage County Common Pleas Judge John Enlow. Prosecutors said Cunningham shot 33-year-old Lacey Cunningham on New Year's Eve 2018. Police responded to the couple's home on Hazelnut Drive after he later went to the sheriff's office and made comments to staff that raised concerns about his wife's welfare. She was found dead in the garage. Cunningham's trial was delayed due to an appeal, which was denied in 2023. He is scheduled for sentencing Monday. The trial of a West Virginia man charged in an East Liverpool murder remains scheduled for June 24th. Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Megan Bickerton presided over a final status hearing Monday for 35-year-old Eldon Tisdale of Newell. She acknowledged motions filed by his defense team and said she hadn't had time to fully review them. Bickerton added she didn't believe there was anything in them to prevent proceedings from moving forward. The grand jury indicted Tisdale and 25-year-old Alan Tisdale of Lisbon on charges including aggravated murder. They stemmed from the July 2021 shooting death of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas of East Liverpool. Alan Tisdale is scheduled for sentencing July 21st. He recently pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and complicity to a weapons charge. A Youngstown woman arrested during a sex sting in Salem is scheduled for arraignment June 30th in Columbiana County Municipal Court. 24-year-old Tara Rainey Balestrino is charged with a misdemeanor count of soliciting. According to the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force, Balestrino posted an online ad for prostitution solicitation. She's accused of soliciting an undercover agent posing as a sex buyer for 2 acts of sexual conduct. Balestrino was arrested after she drove to a prearranged location last week. Bond is set for a Camel man indicted on charges of rape and compelling prostitution. A Mahoning County Common Pleas judge Monday set bond at $300,000 for 65-year-old Terrence Jeffries. His attorney had sought bond of $25,000. Jeffries allegedly took part in sexual conduct with a 12-year-old between April and June of 2024. He's scheduled to return to court for a pretrial hearing July 9th. 48-year-old Mildred Brooks was indicted on the same charges as well as trafficking in persons. She's accused of engaging in sexual conduct with the child. Woods is slated for a status conference hearing Tuesday. A federal lawsuit against immigration and homeland security officials is being dismissed by a Youngstown State University graduate and citizen of Nigeria, Cinderella Patrick of Brooklyn, Maryland. Graduated from YSU with a master's degree in chemical engineering in May 2024. Prior to graduation, Patrick was charged with menacing after an email exchange with a professor. The case was dismissed. Patrick's Student and Exchange Visitor Program, or SEVIS, status was terminated April 8th. It also affected several other international students attending the university. YSU President Bill Johnson later said the records were restored. The suit is being dropped without prejudice. It could be refiled at a later date. A standoff in a Boardman neighborhood Monday afternoon brought a heavy police presence. Police responded to a Clifton Drive home around 1 a.m. Monday for a domestic violence report. They were called back around 1 p.m. to serve an arrest warrant. WFMJ-TV reports the man in the home refused to come out. 7 children were in the house at the time. SWAT units and off-duty officers were called to the scene. The man eventually surrendered. 29-year-old Alan Dorenzo was charged with obstructing official business, domestic violence, and endangering children. It's 78 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the remainder of your Tuesday afternoon, showers and thunderstorms with a high around 80. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Showers and thunderstorms likely with a low near 68. Wednesday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high of 83. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Game 1 of the conference finals at Madison Square Garden. He can get hot. Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! And a 1-0 from CeCe. Smacks the ball to left center field, and he's tied it up. Well, Ohtani's given up a run, but now he's knocked in a run. Back to square one. The 1-1 pitch to him is bounced gently left side. Tough play. Muncy hurries the throw over there in time to end the inning. Shohei Ohtani has to work hard in his first inning back on the mound. Padres get one. Ohtani's back.
3 runs here. Starting to rain a little bit harder, by the way. Here's a poke, fair, down the left field line. Shotwell's going to give the Angels the lead. Christian Moore scores. Shotwell's at second, an RBI double.
That's shown a wow to you, Wayne.
Hey, here we go. Hour 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. Hello, Alliance. Hello, Northeast Ohio. Hope you all are having a great day. Stay safe from some of the intermittent storms we've had today. You never know when another storm's going to pop up. If you're out and about, be careful. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg there. Phone lines open at 330-821-1310. The WDPN text line is always open just for you. 330-924-7088. Heard from a bunch of you already today, so keep those texts and comments coming in. By the way, go to our social media platforms. AM 1310 WDPN on Facebook and Twitter. Like our page, share our page, give us a follow. We'd certainly appreciate it. And while you're there, head on over to Q92 Sports. Like, share, follow. What do you say? Give us a follow on Instagram as well. I got some TikTok stuff that I do once in a while. I probably should do more. But sometimes when I'm actually planning to put a video up on TikTok, I go down the rabbit hole. And whenever I start looking and scrolling, and I'm 45, I'm like, what the hell did I just do? And I forget to do it. But make sure you shall, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share, all our social media platforms, because we do love to interact with you here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Our Sam Bourquin poll question of the day. We've had some fun with this today. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? What's the hardest accomplishment? A, throw a perfect game. B, get a hole in one. C, bowl a 300. D, run the 4-minute mile. Great comments coming in, and we'll read those as we move along here today. NHL Stanley Cup Finals, Game 6 tonight. Panthers can win Lord Stanley's Cup with the win over Edmonton. NBA Finals last night. Get you caught up there. The Thunder beat the Pacers. OKC is 1 win away from the NBA championship. College World Series is going on in Omaha, Nebraska. Young fellow from Arkansas threw a no-hitter yesterday. We're going to hear from the Murray State baseball coach coming up a little bit later on. And don't forget, tomorrow, we're going to talk to Kent State baseball coach, just a good guy, great coach, even a better human being. Mike Birkbeck, pitching coach at Kent State. He's going to join us tomorrow, and we're going to go down memory lane and talk about the 2012 Kent State Golden Flashes tomorrow here on the Sam Bourquin Show, and I am looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to talking to Shane Byler, who joins us, the outstanding head baseball coach at Lake Center Christian, and just want to talk about the great year the Tigers had, their run through the Final Four, the state championship appearance, and all the great memories that happened this year. And Coach is kind enough to join us here on 1310 WDPN. Coach Shane, good afternoon. How are you?
Sam, I'm doing good. Appreciate you reaching out again and having me back on to talk to you a little bit. I heard you just mention a couple good baseball coaches coming on tomorrow. Did you say Murray State's coach and Coach Birkbeck?
Well, we got Coach Birkbeck's going to come on live tomorrow, and I did clip up some interview stuff with the Murray State coach from last night.
Oh, wow.
He was real emotional, and I can completely understand that at the podium yesterday. And we kind of want to play some of that coming up. So yeah, that's hey, Coach, there's something special and magical, and even it might sound a little bit corny, romantic about the sport of baseball, and it gives you a lot of feels, man. Highs, lows, everything in between. And you guys certainly experienced that this year, didn't you?
We certainly did. And you're spot on, man. It's, I've played 3 sports my whole life. I'm a huge sports fan across the board. There's just nothing quite like baseball. It truly is quite incredible.
So I wanted the dust to settle down a little bit. I actually told the story when I opened the show today. I'd reached out to you yesterday, the day before, and said, hey, I know you might not be ready now. I want to give you some time. And that was just oh my gosh, that was an unbelievable game on Sunday. You guys just came up a bit short, and I just wanted to kind of, let a couple of days go by. And I'm sure it's not any easier today, but what an incredible season that you guys had, from, I'm sure, the first workout, the first batting practice, the first running in the outfield to the final out up at Canal Park. What a range of emotions for your baseball program. Let's just kind of go there. What are some of the things that you remembered early on about this team? And we'll kind of walk it through.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, you're spot on, Sam. It's, I think a lot of coaches, a lot of athletes will tell you, it's really not about the destination. It's about the journey and just everything that you go through with your teammates, with your coaches, everybody involved, overcoming adversity together, celebrating successes and accomplishments with each other, and just everything else along the way. It's that's what makes it, just the overall experience. But no, it was a great season. Our guys from the very end of the 2024 season last year have all just put in so much time, so much effort in developing themselves as even better baseball players. A lot of them play summer baseball. A lot of them work extremely hard in the weight room, just on their own, on their games.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since last spring, they just, they showed up just completely different men, completely different baseball players. And we hit the ground running when we were back in school last September with a lot of off season and then into winter and preseason activities. And once we officially got rolling at the end of February, it was a 4-month. It's weird. Feels like a sprint. I mean, the fastest 4 months I've ever experienced. And you're battling through all the difficult things, being stuck in a gym, inside, bad weather, in and out. It's hard, early on, but in a lot of ways, that's what makes it, and I remember some of those late February practices. I remember, getting outside in 38 degrees thinking, hey, it's warming up for us.
It's beautiful. Let's go.
But you know what? It's just like, man, being there with those guys and our other coaches throughout the, that, 4-month season, it's what made it, and just miss every day that we got to spend together.
And at the end of the day, Coach, it's worth every 30. Gosh, I have a feeling you guys were out there and it was like 34, but I won't tell anybody. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's worth every 34-degree day. It's worth every time you swing a wooden bat and the guy fires a fastball and it stings the living daylights out of your hand. You're like, what are we doing out here? And before you know it, it's the end of May. You're on a roll. And now we're into June, and you're at Canal Park. That's how fast it goes. And when we had you on a day or two before the Final Four, we were kind of talking about the grind and the journey of the regular season. It does go that fast. And you've got to savor every pitch, every minute, every cold night, every hot and humid day, because it's gone in the blink of an eye, isn't it?
It really is. I say some crazy things to our guys, but, we talk a lot about being present and just really taking in everything you can. I talk about missing, the strawberries on your knees and on your sides from sliding in the dirt. You miss those aches and pains, the sore arm the next day after a big start. When it's all come and gone, you miss that stuff. So we talk a lot to our guys about just being present and also approaching just everything the same way, every workout, every practice, scrimmage, game, tournament game, state championship, the same exact way. And that's just with a great enthusiasm, a lot of energy, great desire, just playing as hard as you can. So that when it does all end, you can have no regrets and just feel great about everything that you put into it. And I got to tell you, man, our guys, some of the most just consistent, hardest working guys I've been around. And to be honest, not even 2 days past our state championship game now. It's what has me, I guess just pretty emotional overall.
Sure.
Is just thinking about everything that they put into it. I couldn't be more proud of them.
We were talking with Shane Byler, the outstanding head baseball coach at Lake Center Christian, his baseball club, the program, all the way to the state championship game, and came up just short to an unbelievable baseball program in Berlin Highland. We'll get to that here in a minute. But so the regular season, fantastic. The tournament run, even more fantastic. Now we're going to fast forward to the Final Four. What was your expectations of what you thought the Final Four would be? And then talk about the journey, playing in 2 stadiums, 2 cities in 2 days, 2 great games, the atmosphere, the community spirit. Take us through that.
Tell you what, it was unreal and far exceeded my expectations. I'm 34 years old. I have gone to just about every state baseball tournament, probably since the time I was 5. In many cases with my dad, and just watching, taking it all in. It was a dream of mine as a player to make it there. When I was a senior at Lake Center, we fell just short in 2009. We lost in the regional final.
No. I went through the same thing you did, Coach. I hate this stuff. I know your pain. It happened to
I'll
us.
tell ya.
Oh, I'm still now I'm really mad. Thanks a lot.
Sam, what's one of the golden rules in baseball? Don't make what out at third base.
Don't make the first or third out at third base.
Well, guess what?
Oh,
We're
no.
down. I was the tying run in the bottom of the seventh, and I made the third out at third base, trying to be overly aggressive and make something happen.
Got to make it happen.
And ended our hopes and dreams.
Oh, no.
My name is Shane Byler. My father-in-law calls me Shame with an M for that, Shane Byler. So, hey,
oh, that's funny.
Quite the experience years ago. But you know what? I've taken that with me, and you know it's how I've lived and it's how I coach. We are on the aggressive, and we make other teams make plays. So it has been a dream of mine to not just watch the state baseball tournament, but actually participate in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, our program was able to do that this year. So going into it, I was so excited along with everyone else. And, you know, it was unique this year, you know, as things have changed in the OHSA using two venues now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, in our first state Final Four, being local, getting to play in Canton at Thurman Munson, you know, all the history there, and then playing at Canal Park in Akron for the final. It was just an awesome experience. Both parks took such good care of us. The support from our school and just the community on the whole was unreal. Our entire program was taken back by just the support we felt. But yeah, man, we went into it expecting to get it done. We expected to make it to the championship and then knock off the now back state champion Berlin Highland Hawks. Our guys went out, played a great game in the semi, and played extremely well in the final as well. We certainly gave it everything we had, and as you mentioned, unfortunately fell just short, and Highland beat us on a walk-off in the championship.
Shane Byler, Lake Center Christian baseball catcher on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So I got to ask you, did you find yourself, and you guys, I mean, you're a baseball program now. You're not just a team. You're a program. And did you find yourself channeling maybe a little inner Gene Hackman from Hoosiers when you started the state? Like, hey, guys, you know, it's Thurman Munson, a little bigger, more people. Canal Park, even bigger, more people, but the bases are 90 feet. The mound to the home plate is 60 feet. Did you have any flashbacks or memories as you were getting the guys ready to go those 2 days?
You know, that's a really good question. I'll tell you, we talk a lot as a team, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but just approaching everything we do the same way. And, you know, our guys did that. And not only this year, but for many years, we've played up. You know, we try to schedule the big dogs. We don't, you know, we don't schedule a bunch of cakewalks. We challenge our guys. We take a spring trip every other year down to Myrtle Beach and play good competition. We played some great teams this year and at some really nice venues, including we played McKinley at Munson very early in the season. We played in a showcase event at Kent State.
Nice.
We played a game at Canal Park. You know, so we've been a part of some big things, some big moments against some really good teams. So I think even though we are pretty young on paper as a team, I think our guys were more than ready for it. And I didn't see any hesitation. I didn't see any timidness. I didn't see anything at all that kept me from thinking, man, these guys are ready, you know? And in our semifinal game on Saturday, I got to say, it was probably one of our most complete games of the entire year and just one of our best games. So all the credit in the world to our guys, just being so fearless to just take anyone and anything on. They step up to the plate and they get it done.
Got to ask you, end of the game against Highland, you guys are on the precipice of doing something incredibly special. And then there's that punch to the gut. And I know there had to have been some tears, and there was hugs, and there was high fives. And what did you tell the guys after the game, Coach? What did you tell them as a group, or maybe even some individuals?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's hard, you know, because there's nothing that you can really say to take any of the pain away or to change anything or to make anyone, you know, feel better. But I do know one thing I shared with them, that I was just incredibly proud of them. Not only because of the way that they played the game, but just the way that they represented themselves and the school. And, you know, that's all you can ask for. You know, we want to be process oriented. We just want to focus on doing things the right way. We feel like if we do, the results are typically going to be there. Unfortunately, in this specific case, they weren't. You know, we came up just short, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be proud and very pleased in the way that we played the game and the season that we put together. They couldn't be any better. And I just know that if we, you know, continue down this road, even greater things are in store for us.
No doubt about it. Shane Byler is our guest, the outstanding baseball coach, Lake Center Christian. They went all the way to the state championship game this year, but Canal Park, and just had an incredible high school baseball season. Coach, before I let you go, I'm going to end this on a little bit of an up fun note. As you know, we do a poll question every day, and today's poll question is the hardest thing to do in sports. And your choices are throw a perfect game, shoot a hole-in-one, bowl a 300, or run a 4-minute mile. What's the hardest?
I'll tell you what, those are all incredible feats. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with the 4-minute mile, because I know that not anybody could just go out and do something like that. I don't know. You get a go-kart or a four-wheeler, you might be able to get it done, but I don't think anybody can get lucky and do that. I don't know. I'm going to go with the 4-minute mile.
You're going to go with the 4-minute mile. We will put you down for a vote. Well, Coach, thank you for coming on. I know it may have not been the easiest thing for you to do. I appreciate you handling it with just incredible class, and I know you really had a ball this year, and hopefully this won't be the last time you as a program can take that tour. So again, a final congratulations from all of us here and all the folks in the area, and way to go, man. That was a fun run, and all the best to you.
Sam, thanks again. I really appreciate you having me back on. And, you know, as I said last week, just thank you so much for everything you do for sports in the area. A lot of people appreciate what you do.
Well, I appreciate that more than you'll know. Shane, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You take care.
There you go. Lake Center Christian baseball coach Shane Byler. Oh, they almost had it. Almost had it. But I'll tell you what, Berlin Highland, back to back to back. There's no shame right there. All right, we got the news and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour, and we got 90 more big minutes to go. Keep it right here. Locked and loaded. AM 1310 WDPN. Streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. President Trump has posted on social media about Iran's supreme leader as aerial attacks between Israel and Iran continue. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest.
President Trump writes in a new social media post Tuesday afternoon that the U.S. knows where Iran's supreme leader is hiding and adds, quote, "He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out." kill, at least not for now. The message coming after two U.S. officials told ABC News Sunday that the president rejected an Israeli plan in recent days to kill Ayatollah Khamenei. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told ABC Monday that Israel won't rule out an attempt to assassinate him.
In his post, Trump said the U.S. does not want to see missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. At least 51 Palestinians were killed and over 200 wounded in the Gaza Strip while waiting for UN and commercial trucks to enter the territory with needed food, that according to Gaza's health ministry and a local hospital. Palestinian witnesses told the Associated Press that Israeli forces had fired on the crowds. The military said it was looking into reports that its forces had fired toward the crowd, causing several casualties. It did not appear to be related to a new Israeli and U.S.-supported aid delivery network that rolled out last month and has been marred by controversy and violence. Prosecutors in Los Angeles have announced new charges against people accused of violence during the recent protests following immigration raids. ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles.
Much of the violence in the protests was done by people wearing masks, their faces covered, but now announcing a slate of new charges against suspects accused of assaulting police, firing fireworks at them, and setting patrol cars on fire. LA County DA Nathan Hochman says tips and video evidence are leading them to those who committed crimes.
And when they get this evidence, they're going to find these people behind these masks, behind these coverings.
Federal prosecutors are also filing charges against around 20 people accused of committing violent crimes in the protests. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
New York City Comptroller and Democratic mayoral candidate Brad Lander has been arrested at a federal building in Manhattan after he linked arms with a person that authorities were attempting to detain. A reporter with the Associated Press witnessed Lander's arrest today. The person Lander was walking out of the courtroom with was also arrested. Lander had spent the morning observing immigration court hearings and told an AP reporter that he was there to accompany some immigrants out of the building. Emailed inquiries to the FBI and U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement were not immediately returned. It's 77 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For this afternoon, showers and thunderstorms with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Can't rule out the possibility of showers and thunderstorms with a low near 68. Wednesday, another chance for showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies and a high of 83. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? Come out to Copeland Oaks for our annual Classic Cruise-In on Sunday, July 27th. Gates open at 10 a.m. with registration until 1. Enjoy free food, music, and lots of fun. Join us Sunday afternoon, July 27th for the Cruise-In on the Copeland Oaks Retirement Campus, just off Route 62 near Sebring. $5 registration for classic vehicles. All proceeds benefiting a local charity. Dash plaques and trophies will be awarded for classic cars. Copeland Oaks, family fun.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Must be the love. Yeah, must be the love right now.
There's so much to love in Ohio because the heart-shaped state is the heart of adventure with 76 free state parks, amusement parks, ballparks, and more. The heart of opportunity with great jobs and a low cost of living. Ohio is the heart of it all. Follow your heart at ohio.org.
Sponsored by Tourism Ohio and aired by this station.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back on the Sam Bourquin program. I want to thank Lake Center baseball coach Shane Byler for spending some time with us today. And congratulations to them again on just an incredible high school baseball season. Of course, we had a lot of teams that made it to the regionals this year. A couple made it to the regional championship. And again, shout out all of our coaches, baseball coaches and players for great seasons. It's not easy. It's not easy to get all the way. It isn't. I mean, it's hard. If you have one bad night, your season's over. The team you're playing, they play the game of their life. Their pitcher throws the game of his life. You're going home. It's hard. It's hard to win a title. But we get some, football's it's the coup de grace around here. And when I say around here, Stark County, Northeast Ohio, the region, the Buckeye State. We obviously have some very good basketball played in the state of Ohio. We have some damn good baseball played too. I only wish our guys, our coaches, even our softball teams, I just wish they had better weather. I wish they had better weather to do what they do the best. But they go with what they got, and it's pretty good. So standing ovation from us to all of our spring sports athletes. By the way, the spring sports season came to a close on Sunday. Now we got a little bit of a break now before we fire up football. So, yeah, that was fun. Thanks to Shane Byler for coming on here. If you missed our interview with Coach, it will be up after the show. You can check it out on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page and YouTube, and I'll be reposting it on Facebook and Twitter and some other places as well. So if you missed them during the show, you can always go back and listen at your leisure. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. That's 330-821-1310. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? What is it? Throw a perfect game? Get a hole in one? Bowl a 300? Or run a 4-minute mile? Out of those four, what's the hardest to do?
Now, Sam, this might be a dumb question, but is that a real hole-in-one or like a putt-putt hole-in-one?
Oh, this is a real hole-in-one.
Because I've done one of those things. And I bet you can guess which one it is.
And you told me you weren't an athlete.
No. I mean, if we're all being honest, golf is not the most athletic sport out of all of them. But was that wrong?
No, I'm just making a sound effect.
No, it's okay. I'm not saying it's not athletic. I'm just saying compared to running.
Because it is. Golf is, you got to be.
Yeah. It's a lot of walking.
Have it together. A hole-in-one is hard to do, man. These things on this list are all hard to do. They really are. You can go to the AM 1310 WDPN Twitter page, and you can take the quiz there. You can also do it on Facebook, or you can drop your comments on the Q92 Radio Facebook page or YouTube channel. You can text us. You can call as well at 330-821-1310. 65% right now saying throw a perfect game is the hardest thing to do. Run a 4-minute mile, 29%. Get a hole in one, 6%. 0% on bowling a 300. Now, like I told you in the earlier portion of the show, I've bowled, I've ran, I've played golf, I've played baseball, football, basketball, soccer. I can't believe that not one person, at least on the Twitter poll, now Facebook might be different, has said that the bowling a 300 is the hardest thing to do. I mean, I guess there are a lot of 300 games that are rolled out there. I mean, because there's always people at the lanes, whether it's a league or a Friday or Saturday night out, or you're a high school bowler, a college bowler, a pro bowler. I guess there's been a lot of 300 games. I don't know. But, I mean, you got to be really good, don't you? You got to be really good to throw a 300. I couldn't do that. There's no way in the world I could do that. There's just no way. That's interesting. Not one vote there for throwing the old 300. Running a 4-minute mile, that's got to be really hard. You got to be in shape. You got to persevere. You got to run through the pain. You got to run through the stomach cramps. You got to really persevere to run a 4-minute mile. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so I kind of wanted to stay with the baseball and the baseball coach theme here for this particular segment in the show. We had Shane Byler on, and Lake Center Christian just had a heartbreaking loss in their championship game. So yesterday, we had a young man from Arkansas who threw a no-hitter, and we played that in our open. If you missed it, we'll check us out here at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, and you'll get to hear that highlight again. But when somebody throws a no-hitter, obviously the other team is going home. And Murray State was the team that went home. And what a magical run they had this year. Remember we told you about how hard it is to get to Omaha for the College World Series. It's not set up for the small teams. It's not set up for, the Mid-American Conference. It's not set up for the Sun Belt Conference. It's not set up for the Ohio Valley, if there's even an Ohio Valley left. You know what I mean? It's set up for the Big Ten, the SEC, the Pac-12, whatever. So the fact that Murray State and Coastal Carolina, and Coastal's still in, by the way, Chanticleers, it's hard to get there. And Murray State got there, and they had a heck of a season. But, boy, it really hits you hard when it's over. Because who's to say if Murray State will ever get there again? They could, but it's not set up for them to do that. Their coach, Dan Skirka, last night, yesterday, late afternoon, early evening, in the media room. You gotta face the music. You got to talk to the media. And he had some players of his. I think he had one of his sons sitting on his lap. And this is what he had to say. This is the head coach of Murray State, Dan Skirka, after their season came to an end yesterday at the College World Series.
One of my wife's favorite movies is A League of Their Own, and say there's no crying in baseball. Well, you can throw that out the window. There's no way I'm making it through this right here. What these guys mean to me and my family. I can't put it into words. I after Duke, we gave glory, and we'll give glory in defeat. This journey, God's great. It's unbelievable. The support we've gotten has just been unbelievable. After we beat Duke, I got 1,300 text messages, all the social media and other. It was blown away. Just hearing from people I haven't heard from in forever. Some people I didn't know that tracked down my number. It's this journey and what these guys have done to inspire people, to inspire kids to play baseball, to inspire families to watch together, to inspire families to come here and visit and be a part of it. That's what's so special about this. And it's amazing. It truly is amazing. Hats off to Arkansas. I think Gage Wood made himself some money today. Holy cow. With our offense and what we've done all year to a lot of really good pitchers. I'll take the blame. I didn't prepare these guys for what we saw today because it was special, and they've been special all year. So, just again, thanks to everybody. This journey. I heard all these guys saying it. Don't be sad. It's over. Smile because it happened. And Hoagie might have summed it up, or both, because we're sad, but we're really glad that this thing happened and so many people were a part of it.
Well, that was Murray State head baseball coach Dan Skirka at the podium last night after his team was eliminated at the College World Series. You could hear it in his voice. Now, I watched the video, so I got this, crying and everything. You could hear it in his voice, what it meant to him, his team, his family, the university, the alum. It's a whole thing. It's a whole big deal. And look, I know teams like Texas and UCLA and Florida and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, Arizona. They get there a lot. They don't get there every year. It seems like it, but they get there a lot. We were talking yesterday about the Kent State team in 2012. Coach Strickland, Coach Bourquin. What a magical run that was. They ain't been back since. It's been 13 years, and Kent's a phenomenal baseball program. That's how hard it is to get there. That's how hard. It's the Murray States, the Coastal Carolinas. You don't know when you're going back. You got to cherish every moment. You got to relish every opportunity. And it's hard when you're in the moment, right? It's hard to step back and smell the proverbial roses. It's hard because you are so locked in on what? On what's next, what's in front. You're not looking back. You're not reminiscing. You're not laughing and smiling and storytelling. You're locked in on what's coming up next. You want the big prize. You've got to go beat the big bad wolf. Okay? You're David. You got to go get Goliath. You got to take him down. So you're not thinking about the journey. You're not reminiscing in all of the moments that led up to it because you can't. You can't, especially as a coach, you really can't allow yourself to look back. How many times have you heard a question thrown at a coach? I don't care what the sport is. What are they always doing? What's next? Coach, have you had time to sit down and realize and look? No. I will when it's over. You're always looking ahead. The 2012 Kent State team, what a journey for them just to get there. And they won a game. They beat Florida. Okay? And for Murray State, you know, what that program did this year, and you know, that's a tough way to go out, man, when you're no hit against. But to hear their coach, Dan Skirka, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Only one team can finish on top. How many baseball programs are there in D1? There's hundreds. Hundreds. Only 8 get to go to the College World Series, and you got to fight your way there. There's no gifts in college baseball, man. You got to fight, and you got to fight the weather. Look, they're doing that again today. What was it? LSU and UCLA last night got suspended in like the 4th or 5th inning because of rain, and they waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And they had to come back and play, I think, at 11 this morning. That game should be done. And then I think there was 11 to 2 to 2. I think there was 2 or 3 other games scheduled today. So you got to be able to dance with the weatherman. Your pitcher's got to be ready. That pen's got to be ready. Your situational guys, your pinch runners, you got to be ready because you never know. It's tough enough. You know, it's a double elimination tournament, and it's really tough if you got to come from behind in the loser's bracket. So you're fighting that. You're fighting the other team. You're fighting fatigue. Now you got to fight Mother Nature. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I just felt for the Murray State coach at the podium last night. Because what you all put into it, and with a snap of a finger, it's gone. And then you know, you're off the horse for a little bit. Then you take a look back. Think about the good times that you had, the special moments, the bonding, the camaraderie, the late nights, the bus trips. Did you see where there was a separate interview with the coach, Dan Skirka? Murray State doesn't even charge admission for their baseball games. Not that many people go. They take anybody they can. They don't even charge admission. Here's a baseball program that will let you in off the street to come watch them play ball. And they made it to Omaha in the College World Series. Think about that. Don't even charge admission. That's the kind of back seat that the Murray State baseball program had taken. Now their basketball program's really good, really good. They've been to the big dance. more than a couple of times. Baseball program, what's the old joke? What time's the game? What time can you come? They don't even charge admission. What a story. What an incredible sports story that is. That's what we love about sports, isn't it? A little engine that could. Kind of wish Murray State was still playing. But there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? A, throw a perfect game. B, shoot a hole in one. C, bowl a 300 game. D, run a 4-minute mile. Let's read you some of these comments we've got on all of our social media platforms. Mark White says, first inclination is a hole in one, but bleepy golfers get lucky and make one once in a while. Bleepy pitchers can't get lucky and throw a perfect game. So I'll go with the perfect game. Michael Lanzo, Pam Deffenbauer, all say throw a perfect game. Steve says the hardest thing to do is be a Cleveland sports fan. Yep, 100% agree there, partner. Diane Kiko says it's B, get a hole in one. Let me see here. Henry says all the above personally. Ha ha. I can't do anything on that list. Dave Loud says, phew, those are all hard. I've seen 3 out of 4 in my life. I'm going to go with B, get a hole in one. Glenn Dumoulin. Glenn, hope you're well. He says all 4. All 4 are very, very hard to do. All right, keep the responses coming. Keep the calls, the text coming. 330-821-1310. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on WDPN. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills, land your next job, or refine your resume, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We will provide everything you need to succeed, from resume assistance to job search guidance and everything in between. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
About 4 minutes until we get you to the top of the hour. Jeff, smoke and mirrors with all your local news, the national news. We got the weather. That's all coming up here in about 4 minutes from now. Guardians and Giants tonight, 9:45 first pitch out in San Francisco. What a ballpark. What a beautiful stadium. Man, I want to go there so bad. Slade Ciccone and Robbie Ray, the pitching matchup tonight. Again, first pitch at 9:45. Okay, I told you what I was going to do last night, right? I was dialed in. I found the Dodger-Padre game last night. Thank goodness it was on MLB Network. And it came on at 10 o'clock, and I knew Shohei was going to pitch last night, so I turned it on. I was going back and forth between the NBA Finals, which drug until after 11 o'clock again, and I was going back and forth, but I watched Shohei. His first pitch last night was 98 miles an hour. First pitch. He hadn't pitched in a game since 2023. His first pitch was a heater at 98 miles an hour. And it was against Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres. He fouled it off. After 3 balls, Shohei then got Tatis to swing and miss at a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Now, he did give up a run on a couple of hits, but for the first time pitching since 2023 and coming off that surgery, I thought he looked pretty good, Shohei. Then, of course, he comes to the plate, you know. I think it was the bottom of the second or bottom of the third. Got an RBI single, double, drove in a run. How special is this guy? How special is Shohei Ohtani? And I know it gets a bad rap because it's with the Dodgers and they spend $500 million and they should have all this, you know, they should win all the time and blah, 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 blah. What a talent this kid is. He finished with 28 pitches last night, 16 were strikes, 3 swing and misses. They got out of Shohei what they wanted. And now, next time he goes out, maybe he'll throw 2 innings, maybe he'll throw 2 and a third. Then they'll work him into 4, 5. He'll get that strength build up, and then he can go out there and, you know, maybe give you a quality start. And people are going to say I'm nuts. And I know the contract he signed, and a lot of it was backloaded. That guy's worth every single penny he gets. He's going to be a starter every 4th or 5th day. He's going to be in the lineup every day. He's going to hit with power. He's going to hit for average. He's going to steal bases. Then he's going to go out there and he's going to strike guys out. He's going to get you out of jams. He's going to mow people down. Are you kidding me? What a talent this guy is. What a talent. And the people in Los Angeles get to go to the park every night and watch him play. They probably take him for granted. Imagine if we had a Shohei Ohtani in Cleveland. Look, we had Albert, we had Tommy, we had Manny. We've had incredible pitchers over the years, over the decades. But think about having a guy like Shohei Ohtani. Every night you go to the park, you get to watch him do his thing. He is special. News and weather coming up at the top of the hour. One more big hour to go. Keep it right here. During the break, check us out on social media and then get back here for the rest of the Sam Bourquin Show. 1310 WDPN.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran's military claims it's targeted Israeli air bases that have been used to carry out strikes against Iran, and the U.S. is ramping up more resources to the Middle East. President Trump calling for Iran's unconditional surrender of its nuclear program and says we now have control over Iranian airspace. That's raising concerns within Congress, with Republican Thomas Massey introducing a measure to limit U.S. involvement.
Bill invokes the 1973 War Powers Act, which calls for the removal of U.S. forces from a conflict if both houses pass a concurrent resolution. But that law, which was enacted over a president's veto, has been the subject of interbranch debate over its constitutionality since it went on the books 5 decades ago.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. An appellate panel hearing arguments today in President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles. The Trump administration trying to overturn a lower court's ruling to return power to the state troops to California's governor. No decision was made today. This is ABC News.
Offered on.
Hey, have you heard this? Macy's is previewing our lowest prices of the summer on furniture and mattresses now before the sale starts Thursday. That means early access to July 4th deals on beautiful outdoor furniture sets, customer favorites like the Radley Sectional, and top mattress brands like Sealy, all at 20 to 65% off. So get to Macy's now to save big, beat the rush, and give yourself more time to relax on your brand new furniture from Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Offered not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Rates are subject to limited approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Congresswoman Amelia Sykes is among lawmakers who were targeted by a suspected gunman. The Akron Democrat confirmed that her name was included in writings and a list of targets. 57-year-old Vance Bolter was arrested June 15th and charged with federal counts of murder and stalking and state charges in the shooting deaths of a former Democrat Minnesota House Speaker and her husband and wounding of a Democrat Minnesota senator and his wife. The shootings occurred June 14th at the victims' homes. Sykes says she was contacted by Capitol Police and told her name was among dozens of lawmakers and evidence found in Bolter's possession. She called for an end to divisive political rhetoric. Authorities have not provided a motive. Robertson Heating and Supply will expand an alliance with help from a tax break. City Council approved a community reinvestment area agreement with the company Monday. Robertson will build a 93,000 square foot distribution facility on a vacant parcel on West Main Street. It will be exempt from property taxes for 15 years. The Marlington Board of Education approved its part of the tax break last week. The $21 million project is expected to create 20 full-time and 5 part-time positions. Work will begin in March 2026. Completion is scheduled for March 2027. 8-year sentences for 2 inmates who attacked a fellow inmate at the Indian River Juvenile Correctional Facility in March. It was the 3rd incident of violence leading to charges at the facility within a year. Jordan Worthy Sturdivant and Carry-On Dukes were convicted of felonious assault by Stark County Common Pleas Court jury last week. The pair were seen on video beating the other inmate into unconsciousness. The sentences were the maximum under the charges and could be extended to 12 years if any infractions are committed while in state prison. A 3rd defendant was convicted of a misdemeanor and sentenced to 180 days in the Stark County Jail. A June 24th trial remains scheduled for a man charged in the shooting death of a man in East Liverpool. A final status hearing for 35-year-old Elvin Tisdale of Newell, West Virginia, was held Monday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. Judge Megan Bickerton acknowledged motions filed by his defense attorneys, but said she hadn't had time to fully review them. She reportedly said there wasn't anything in the motions to stop the process from moving forward. Tisdale and 25-year-old Alan Tisdale of Lisbon were indicted on charges including aggravated murder in the July 2021 slaying of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas of East Liverpool. Alan Tisdale recently pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and complicity to a weapons charge. He will be sentenced July 21st. A sex sting in Salem has landed a Youngstown woman behind bars. The Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force says 24-year-old Tara Rainey Ballestrino posted an online ad for prostitution solicitation. She allegedly solicited an undercover agent posing as a sex buyer for 2 acts of sexual conduct. Ballestrino drove to a prearranged location last week and was arrested. She was booked at the Columbiana County Jail on a misdemeanor count of soliciting. Ballestrino is scheduled for arraignment June 30th in County Municipal Court. Sentencing is scheduled Monday for Eric Cunningham, the Brinfield Township man found guilty of killing his wife. Portage County Common Pleas Judge John Enlow convicted the 37-year-old of murder and felonious assault Monday. Prosecutors said Cunningham shot 33-year-old Lacey Cunningham in December 2018. After he went to the sheriff's office and made comments to staff that raised concerns about his wife's welfare, police responded to the couple's home on Hazelnut Drive. She was found dead in the garage. Lacey was shot to death on New Year's Eve. An appeal held up the trial but was denied in 2023. A Mahoning County judge has set bond at $300,000 for a Camel man indicted on sex charges. 65-year-old Terrence Jeffries was charged with rape and compelling prostitution. His attorney had sought bond of $25,000. Jeffries is scheduled to return to court for a pretrial hearing July 9th. He is accused of having sex with a 12-year-old. The activity occurred between April and June of 2024. 48-year-old Mildred Woods was indicted on the same charges, along with trafficking in persons. She allegedly engaged in sexual conduct with the child. Woods is set to return to court Tuesday for a status conference hearing. A Youngstown State University graduate and citizen of Nigeria is dismissing her lawsuit against immigration and homeland security officials. Cinderella Patrick of Brooklyn, Maryland, filed the suit in federal court. At issue was the termination of her status through the Student and Exchange Visitor Program, or SEVIS. Patrick graduated from YSU with a master's degree in chemical engineering in May 2024. Prior to graduation, she was charged with menacing after an email exchange with a professor. The case was dismissed, but Patrick's SEVIS record was terminated April 8th, along with several other international students who attended YSU. President Bill Johnson later said their records were restored. The lawsuit is being dropped without prejudice, meaning it could be refiled later. A man sentenced to 58 years to life for a murder in Youngstown was ordered to receive a new trial. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost wants the state Supreme Court to reverse that decision. 30-year-old Levante Knight of Youngstown was found guilty in August 2021 in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court of 11 counts, including aggravated murder in the December 2018 death of Travis Harris. The 7th Appellate District Court ruled last week errors in the case prevented Knight from receiving a fair trial. Yost says the alleged errors did not ultimately affect the trial's outcome and are unrelated, so they could not combine to create a prejudicial effect. Youngstown police say no one was injured when someone shot at a home on the city's north side Monday morning. Officers responded to an address on Kensington Avenue around 5 a.m. They found 2 bullet holes in a window. A woman who lives there said her son was inside the house when multiple shots were fired. A witness reported seeing someone in a parked car walk up to the home, fire several rounds, and get back in the vehicle, which drove away. Police recovered 7 shell casings from the street. An investigation continues. The former divorce attorney accused of killing his client appeared in court today. 51-year-old Gregory Moore is accused of killing Eliza Sherman in 2013. Her murder went unsolved for a dozen years. Moore is being held in jail on a $2 million bond. He was secretly indicted by a Cuyahoga County grand jury last month. Prosecutors allege the murder happened because Moore was not prepared to take her case to trial. The man charged in the shooting death of a Morrow County deputy last month pleaded not guilty to all charges. 53-year-old Brian Wilson was indicted on 14 counts, including 2 counts of aggravated murder and the death of Deputy Daniel Scherer. Prosecutor Andrew Wick previously said he would seek the death penalty if Wilson is found guilty. Authorities say Wilson shot and killed the deputy May 26th as he was responding to a report of a domestic situation. A judge increased Wilson's bond from $5 million to $9 million. Wilson is scheduled to appear in court again August 25th. A trial date will be set later. The Ohio Department of Agriculture will soon begin aerial treatments to control populations of the spongy moth, formerly known as the gypsy moth. Treatments will be applied in Guernsey, Hancock, Knox, Sandusky, and Wood counties. The counties will tentatively receive treatments beginning Monday, weather permitting. Applications are administered using a yellow aircraft flying about 100 feet above the treetops. The product Splat GMO does not kill the moth, but it disrupts the mating process. Splat is an organic and biodegradable formula that is harmless to both humans and animals. Anyone in contact with the product should wash the affected area with soap and water. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 42,211, down 303 points. The Nasdaq Composite fell 180 points, ending at 19,521, and the S&P 500 closed at 5,980, down 52 points. We have the following funeral announcements. The service for 71-year-old Richie Vandal of Alliance will be held Saturday at 11 at Scherer Sterling Skivalaki Funeral Home. And arrangements are pending for 76-year-old Larry O. Higgins of Alliance, arrangements by Scherer Sterling Skivalaki. It's 76 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon with a high around 80. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a low near 68. Partly sunny Wednesday with a chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 83. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Game one of the conference finals at Madison Square Garden. He can get hot. Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! And a 1-0 from CC. Smacks the ball to left center field, and he's tied it up. Well, Ohtani's given up a run, and now he's knocked in a run. Back to square one. The 1-1 pitch to him is bounced gently left side. Tough play. Muncy hurries the throw over there in time to end the inning. Shohei Ohtani has to work hard in his first inning back on the mound. Padres get one. Ohtani's back.
3 runs here. Starting to rain a little bit harder, by the way.
Here's a poke fair down the left field line. Shotwell's going to give the Angels the lead. Christian Moore scores. Shotwell's at second, an RBI double.
That's shown well to you, Wade. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Happy 5 o'clock. Welcome in. 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. 330-821-1310 is the phone number. You can text at 330-924-7088. What's good, A-Town? What's going on today? You know what I'm in the mood for? And they're not around anymore. A-Town Burgers, man, on State Street. I would literally run to there right now. But they're gone.
I wish you would let me forget about them, Sam.
I really wish they were still around.
Every time you remind me,
so
I'm re-devastated.
It's so good. Oh, my God. I have to make a little trip at Paul and Ori's on the way home tonight now. No burgers, but I'll go pasta. Heck yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with Italian food.
I might be going there. Who knows? See why I've gained 12 pounds in the last 50 days? It's that kind of mental approach to life. Shame on me. Can't help it. I can't help it. All right, welcome into the program, everybody. I want to thank my guest, Shane Byler from Lake Center Christian. We had a nice talk. We had a nice recap of the season for them. If you missed that interview, it will be up on our social media platforms tonight after the show at around 7:30. If you want to go back and listen to that, that was pretty good stuff. Guardians and Giants tonight. It will be Slade Ciccone and Robbie Ray, the pitching matchup. The Guards and the Giants out in San Francisco. 9:45 first pitch. 3-game series there, and then it's Sacramento to take on the A's before the Guardians finally get back home. They're 35-35, 9.5 behind Detroit. As I said in our couple of segments last hour, forget about forget about the Central Division. Forget about it. That's over. Worry about getting yourself better. Worry about getting one of those wild card spots. Get a seat at the table. See what happens. I think this is a huge weekend for this baseball team. A huge week, I should say. You didn't do well in Seattle. Now you've got the Giants, and then you've got the A's. And then you're going to come home. I think you've got Toronto. I think Detroit's coming up soon again. So we'll know a whole lot more about this team in the next 10 to 15 days. So we'll see. Trade deadline is looming. We've still got a couple of weeks before we, start really digging deep into that. But Guards are what they are. They're a 500 team right now. That's exactly what they are. So we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Could try to get a hold of Matty Underwood, maybe Al Pulaski coming up tomorrow or Thursday, and we'll talk a little Guards here on the program. NBA Finals last night. Eek. Oklahoma City. They're not messing around. That was a pretty good game last night. Again, there was like 60-some free throws again, 59 fouls in the game, and it was damn near 11:30 again by the time that game was over. I went back and I looked today. Game 4, the lowest rated Game 4 in NBA Finals history. The ratings are not good. The basketball is fairly entertaining. It's just there's been too many fouls and too many free throws. But the basketball, when they're actually playing, like when the clock is running, like when people pay to see, not a free throw contest, and not listen to officials blow their cotton picking whistles, it's been pretty good entertainment. It's been pretty good. But I know this. Oklahoma City doesn't want to come back to Oklahoma City for a Game 7. They want to end this baby in Indiana. They want to put it away. They win last night by 11. Covered the number, by the way. And it went over the total. You're welcome. So Gainbridge Fieldhouse will be the next stop. Oak City and the Pacers. That'll be Game 6. And the Thunder could put it away. Stanley Cup Finals continue tonight. Panthers and Oilers. Stanley Cup could be over tonight, too. Florida Panthers up 3-2 over Edmonton. If they win tonight, it's over. It's all over. We'll talk about that tomorrow, too. College World Series continues. I got to get a scoreboard update on that. I'll check during our next break because of the suspension last night, because of the rain. LSU and UCLA had to stop in like the fourth inning, and it rained all night, and they had to come back at 11 this morning, and then there was two or three other games scheduled today. So we'll get you college baseball scores coming up here. And there's some people that like to know. It's not like, oh, I got to know. Yeah, it's the World Series. Of course you want to know. Again, Mike Birkbeck tomorrow, pitching coach at Kent State University. He's going to join us at 4:15 tomorrow. Just locked down a time with Berkey a couple of minutes ago. We're gonna travel back to 2012 and relive that magical Kent State baseball run to the World Series. Coach Mike Birkbeck, one of the best pitching coaches around, man, bar none. We're going to talk to Coach tomorrow at 4:15. Also, we have our show, our question of the day, our poll question of the day. Lot of response today. Good stuff. Appreciate everybody locking in on that this afternoon again. Question is, what's the hardest thing to do in sports? What's the hardest thing to do? What's the hardest accomplishment? Your 4 choices today are A, throw a perfect game. B, shoot a hole-in-one. C, bowl a 300. D, run a 4-minute mile. What do you think is the hardest to do out of those 4? 330-821-1310. You can drop us a line on all of our social media platforms at AM 1310 WDPN on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, the Q92 Radio Facebook page. And, of course, you can listen to watch right now on the YouTube channel as well. And while you're on our social media platforms and you're giving a little visit, make sure you like and share and follow and spread the good word about what we're doing here over in the Carnation City. Throw a perfect game, get a hole-in-one, bowl a 300, or run a 4-minute mile. To you, your opinion, what is the hardest thing to do? They're all hard to do. Or even look at it as like just individually for you. If you played sports, if you had sons or daughters that played sports, maybe you're still doing it today. I know guys that are in their 70s and 80s that are still playing. My father-in-law is still playing softball, for God's sake. He's 72, 73, down there at Willie Field every week, running around. What's the hardest thing to do? Throw a perfect game, get a hole-in-one, bowl a 300, or run a 4-minute mile. 330-821-1310. They're all hard. They're difficult. But, man, the joy and the jubilation that you experience, if you can do one of those things, man, you are on top of the world. I don't know how. Like I said, I threw a perfect game. I was 12. Those probably happen all the time in Little League. If I ever shot a hole in one, I would go out of my mind. If I bowled a 300, I would probably collapse. And if I ran a 4-minute mile, I would definitely collapse. I really don't know how I would act. I really don't. That's some rare air right there. Now, Rainsburg, you said, what did you say earlier? That you could a hole in one?
I said
maybe?
I recall saying that I'm about the most unathletic person ever. So almost, if I could pull off any of these, it would be Mission Impossible levels of unbelievable. Yeah. Be like Tom Cruise jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
Because you got me thinking though. I'm trying to figure what the most athletic thing I've done in my entire life is. And I'm laughing because probably besides high school gym, I think the most athletic thing I've done as an adult is maybe like a cake stand, but is not really that athletic because it requires other people.
For the love of God, a keg stand.
I'm not very athletic, and
well, hey, keg stands aren't
at
easy
least
to do.
takes some arm strength,
That's true. See there? I knew you had it in you.
Oh yeah, no,
you pull off something.
Plenty of upper body strength, I guess.
Yeah. Mike on Facebook says, hardest thing to do is E, dine in a venue without, let me read this again. E, dine in a venue and keep it under a mortgage payment.
He's got a point there.
Yes, I agree. Henry says, all of the above. Great question. Love the show. Thank you, Henry. Frank Ianni. Frank, hope you are well. He said, throwing a perfect game, bowling a 300, and running a 4-minute mile all take a lot of skill and talent. B would be extremely difficult, but there has to be a bit of luck. I know someone who had a hole in one, and she hardly ever played golf. It was a short par 3. The ball never got off the ground more than 4 feet. It was luck and could happen to us at any time. Diana Reed says, I can't do any of these, but if I had to guess, throwing a perfect game would be the hardest. I have yet to get a hole in one. Now, granted, I don't hardly golf ever. I used to golf a lot with my friends when I was, like I said, my grandfather kind of turned me on to the sport when I was little. Now, I didn't have my own clubs. I didn't have any of that stuff, but he had multiple carts, multiple clubs, multiple sets. He had the golf glove. He had the towel. My grandpa was a very good golfer. And I mentioned it when I would go to the house, we would go over to our grandparents' house. They lived on Lindy Lane off of Glenwood. Okay. And when we went to his house, if you went in the backyard and you hopped a little wood fence, very little, because I was able to make it over, and you would just kind of run up this hill, go in between a couple of trees, boom, you were on the 8th hole at Arrowhead Golf Course. So I spent a lot of time up there without paying, chipping and putting and all that stuff. So at a young age, I kind of, this golf is pretty good. But I never grasped what it took to be a great golfer. But I would go with my friends. We'd go to the driving range. We used to go to Tammy, not there anymore. We'd go to Skyland Pines, not there anymore. We'd go to Clairview, still there. Shout out to Renee Powell. We loved it. I loved playing golf, and I wasn't bad. I wasn't great, but I wasn't bad. Now I probably couldn't go out and shoot 150. I know I couldn't. But if I ever got a hole in one, look out below. We are throwing a party to end all parties if I'd ever get a hole-in-one. My son's been close. He's been close. He almost got one at the Elms last summer, but he hasn't got one yet either. And he golfs quite a bit. But this is hard. But think of the celebrations you would have throwing a perfect game, hole-in-one, bowl of 300, run a 4-minute mile. That's tough to do, man. That is really tough to do. 330-821-1310 is the number. 330-821-1310. Looks like it's about to storm again here in Alliance. So if you're close to us, please be careful if you're out and about. Watch out for the standing water. Watch out for, travel on 62 and Beeson Street. Just be careful because it looks like it's about to come down. All right. We are, you know what? I did it again. I did it again. Should we just go ahead and fire up on this day in sports history?
Yeah, we could do that.
You want to do that, or do you want to take a break, go to the news, then come back on the other side? Whatever you want to do.
It's 5:27.5. We could talk for, another minute and a half, go to the news, and then come out of the news into
Let's
it.
do that.
Yeah, let's not run into the news again. Poor Jeff.
Yeah, I blew right by that yesterday, and I blew right by it again today. I got to get a handle on things over here. So, yeah, on this day in sports history coming up about 5:33, 5:34 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. What was I going to say? Oh, Sam Amico from Hoops Wire and Amico Hoops. He's been putting out, and I got to do this real quick. He's been putting out a lot of stories lately on X about what the Cavaliers are looking for, who they may hold on to, who they may let go if they're looking for a free agent, some trades they're going to make. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know if Darius Garland's going to be on this team next year. I think there's going to be a deal. I think there's going to be a trade made. I don't know with who. I thought maybe it would be with Orlando a couple of weeks ago. Not now. They went out and got Desmond Bain. They're going to hold on to Jalen Suggs. They're going to obviously hold on to Pablo Vancaro, who's the kid out of Michigan, the tall kid. His name escapes me right now. Bodner. So they're not dealing anybody. I still think the Cavs might deal Darius Garland, but I don't have a firm grasp on who they might trade him to. Just kind of want to throw that out there because Kevin Durant's name has been in the limelight here about, where's he going to go? Philly, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Nuggets, Minnesota. And I've had a bunch of people ask me the last couple of days, would you want Kevin Durant? I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's going to be 37 years old. And I don't want him in the locker room. I just don't. Look at where he's gone. Now look at Golden State. Yeah, they won the title because he teamed up with every Hall of Famer there was. But look where he's gone since he was with Golden State. Those teams haven't done anything. And I don't think that's by happenstance. All right. News and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us. A lot more to do here on this Tuesday afternoon, 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Residents of Iran's capital were seen leaving the city, and shops and the historic Grand Bazaar were closed today, the fifth day of an intensifying conflict with Israel. President Trump says the U.S. knows where Iran's supreme leader is hiding, but doesn't want him killed for now. His post on social media came a day after he urged the immediate evacuation of Tehran, home to some 9.5 million people. On the roads out of Tehran to the west, traffic stood bumper to bumper, and long lines could be seen at gas stations. Iran and Israel continue to trade missile attacks today. Israeli strikes damaged an underground uranium enrichment site that's been monitored by the UN Atomic Energy Agency. At least 24 people have been killed in Israel and at least 220 in Iran. Sirens in Tel Aviv have been going off all day. ABC's Marcus Moore says leaders in the surrounding region are watching what will happen next.
We know that Jordan's King Abdullah, which, by the way, people in Jordan were receiving air raid sirens as well, and urged to get to a safe place. King Abdullah in Jordan saying that there must be an end to this fighting. And he said that Israel's strikes on Iran marked a dangerous, quote, dangerous escalation.
Officials say a Russian missile and drone bombardment killed at least 15 people and injured 156 others in Ukraine overnight, with the main barrage demolishing a 9-story apartment building in Kyiv. It was the deadliest attack on the Ukrainian capital this year and came as 2 rounds of direct peace talks have failed to make progress on ending the war, now into its 4th year. The city's military administration says 14 people were killed and 138 others were injured in the capital as explosions echoed for hours. Russia has repeatedly hit civilian areas of Ukraine with missiles and drones. The UN says the attacks have killed more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians. Amid concern by some over safety of artificial food dyes, the Kraft Heinz company says it will immediately stop launching any new products in the U.S. with artificial colors. ABC's Chuck Sievertson reports.
Kraft Heinz makes ketchup, Ore-Ida potatoes, Philadelphia cream cheese, and Jell-O, among other things. The company says it's already removed the dyes from 90% of its products and intends to make that 100% in a few years. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr.'s claimed artificial food dyes are contributing to chronic illness. Studies have linked some food dyes to behavioral changes in children and cancer in animals. Many are banned in other countries.
It's 76 degrees and Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the remainder of your Tuesday afternoon, showers and thunderstorms with a high around 80. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Showers and thunderstorms likely with a low near 68. Wednesday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high of 83. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really?
Giraffe. You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's that time again. A little bit late today. I apologize. It's time for On This Day in Sports History. On this day in 1943, Joe Cronin of the Boston Red Sox pinch hit a home run in both games of a doubleheader against the Philadelphia A's. Now, that's hard to do. On this day in 1971, Don Kessinger of the Cubs went 6 for 6 against the St. Louis Cardinals. On this day in 1976, big day, the NBA and the ABA announced that they were merging. And the rest is history. Thank God they don't use that red, white, and blue basketball. On this day in 1990, Harry Gant. Remember Harry Gant? He was the oldest driver to win a NASCAR race. On this day in 1995, the New Jersey Devils set an NHL playoff record with 9 road wins. That's pretty good. Audio time on this day in 1960. Ted Williams hit his 500th career home run. We thought we'd go back and get you the last home run he ever hit. It was his last at bat.
1-1 to Williams. Everybody quiet now here at Fenway Park after they gave him a standing ovation of 2 minutes, knowing that this is probably his last time at bat. 1 out, nobody on, last of the 8th inning. Jack Fisher into his windup. Here's the pitch. Williams swings, and there's a long drive to deep right. That ball is going, and it is gone. A home run for Ted Williams in his last time at bat in the Major League.
How about that? Your last at bat, the Splendid Splinter goes deep. And how about that voice? Remember that? That was Kurt Gowdy on the call that day. On this day in 1994, O.J. Simpson drove his Ford Bronco across the L.A. freeways with police in pursuit and millions of people watching live on television. After the slow speed chase ended, Simpson was arrested and charged with the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Here is how it kind of all unfolded. Larry King behind the desk on CNN.
Earlier today, Robert Shapiro had arranged for O.J. to turn himself in. Doctors were in attendance. They were all going to go together in a car because they were worried about suicide. When they went downstairs from a conference room in O.J.'s house, he was gone. They're going to go right toward the Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Brentwood areas where O.J. lives and where the 2 people killed also lived.
It is an amazing sight. Along the right-hand shoulder, people have pulled over, many of them carrying signs such as signs reading things like "Save the Juice," "Go OJ." People are literally cheering him on as he travels northbound on the 405, and we can only assume that he plans to get off at sunset and go towards perhaps his home.
On this day in 1994, the great Bronco chase in Los Angeles. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And on this day in 2012, Dale Earnhardt Jr. won at the Michigan International Speedway. It was his first win in 4 years and 143 races.
There is going to be a party in Junior Nation tonight.
35 winners, boy. Hell yeah.
The streak is over. Dale Earnhardt Jr. back to victory lane in Michigan.
On this day in 2012, Junior crossed the finish line. That is another outstanding edition of On This Day in Sports History. We do it Monday through Friday, usually around 5:25, right here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Not a lot. I mean, I was just telling Rainsburg before we did the segment, usually there are between 15 and 20 on this day in histories to pick from. And I won't use all of them, but I'll pick the ones that I think that you would enjoy the most and are the most interesting. Today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we had 8. We had a total of 8. And I used them all. I used them all. All right, welcome back to the program. We got the 5:40, about 20 minutes left in the show. We still are talking about on the hardest thing to do in sports. What's the hardest feat to accomplish? And the 4 choices I gave you today were A, throw a perfect game. B, get a hole in one. C, bowl a 300 game. Or D, run a 4-minute mile. What do you think? 330-821-1310. You can also text us at 330-924-7088 or leave a comment on all of our social media platforms, AM 1310 WDPN, and the Q92 Sports and Q92 Radio Facebook and YouTube channel. Sammy, I bowled a 285 game once, never got a hole in one. I had a closest to the pin once at an outing. I was 7 inches away from the cup. That was in 1976. I was 23. I could run a 6-minute mile then. Now it takes me 6 minutes to get up and walk to the kitchen. I feel you. I really do. By the way, pouring pouring outside our studios.
Absolutely.
Here in
I just
Alliance.
peeked my head around the corner.
I
It is
told
going
you.
crazy.
It's been one of those wild weather days. Storm, rain, sun. Storm, wind, sun. Storm. And now that's what we've got going on now. And I think this pattern is going to be with us the rest of the day. When I got up today, it said like 74, 75% chance of rain. I think this is going to go until like 8 o'clock. And then I think we're good. And tomorrow it's back up to 50% again. But just like hit and miss. Thursday now is 60, almost 70% with storms again. Jeez Louise. Now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it is going to be hot. And there is no rain in the forecast. And when I tell you it's going to be hot, 88 Saturday, 92 on Sunday, 94 on Monday, 94 on Tuesday, 90 on Wednesday. And the humidity is coming in. So get ready. We got a couple more days. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of rain. But the first big smack in the face with heat and humidity is coming our way. So get ready for that. Just in time for our community garage sale. Imagine that. Imagine a garage sale, and it's 150 degrees. That's what we'll have this weekend. So we're already starting to get things ready for that. It's going to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, yeah, bringing stuff up from the garage or from the basement, putting it in the garage. Excuse me. Go rent the tables, put the table skirts on, put prices on all the. Oh, it's so much fun. You can't believe. I know a lot of you have done it. You've had garage sales. You know how you know the drill. You go in every corner of the house. You find what you don't want ever again. You take it outside. You put it in the garage. Maybe put it out in your driveway. You set it up. You price everything to move, right? You hang the clothes up in the little, over on the hangers on the rods in the middle. And you put the baskets of stuff out. And if you've got like, a trimmer, a lawnmower, an old bicycle, basketball hoop, whatever, you usually put those out in the driveway, right? Because those are the big items because you want people to see those first. And you get your little cash box. You kind of get tucked away in the garage. You put a little radio out there, maybe some drinks, and probably a couple of fans. Looks like we're going to need a couple of fans this weekend. And you go at it. I think our garage sale is 9 to 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So come on over, buy our junk, and take it with you, and create some new memories. We can get rid of some of that stuff. Now, we got some good stuff. My God, my son's going through clothes like you wouldn't believe. So we're always, Dylan's going to be 18 here at the end of the month. So we're always selling his clothes, shirts, pants, hats, sweaters, hoodies. He's growing like a weed. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. I always like when it's over. And I've already had a talk with the powers to be at home. I said this year, for the first time in the history of having garage sales, whatever we don't sell is absolutely, positively not coming back in the house. It's not coming back in the house. It's going to the curb. Or it's going to go to the dumpster. It's going to go somewhere, but it ain't coming back in the house. I don't care if I have to do a Facebook Live, a TikTok, Instagram. I don't care if I have to get on here with a 99% off sale sign and wave it around. The stuff is not coming back in the house. It's not. That's the whole point, right? Is to lighten the stuff in your home. Have a garage sale. I think they're kind of fun, though, because I'll walk around, because a lot of our homeowners, they get involved in the garage sale. So we just, we walk around, check out different houses, check out different stuff. And I think there's a food truck coming too. I heard there's a food truck coming for our community garage sale. I don't know who it is yet, but I'm going to find out. Now, the only thing is, Thursday and Friday, between 9 and 3, I won't be there. I'll be here. But I will be there Saturday. So I got to find a way to get in on some of the food truck goodness, and maybe I can have some of that when I get home on Friday. So we got the big garage sale coming up. What else is going on this weekend? College World Series will crown a champion, I think, this weekend. If the weather holds, we'll get a champion there. You may crown a Stanley Cup champ. You may crown an NBA champion this weekend. A lot of good stuff going on. Guardians are going to be playing. Giants a couple of nights. They'll be in Sacramento for the A's. We got that to look forward to. It's going to be hot. I keep thinking every year when we get these hot streaks, it's you've been around long enough to know here in Northeast Ohio we've had some hot summers. We've had hot and humidity. And what do you want to do then? You want to go to the pool, right? I've been begging for a pool for 20 years. And I think my wife finally, I think in her mind, she thinks that I've given up. That I've given up the ghost, that I'm no longer trying to get a pool. Now here's the other thing. I don't want just an over, what do they call them? I don't want an above ground pool. I want the in-ground pool. I want a nice one. If you're going to do it, what? Do it right, right? Do it right. Now, I'm not talking about, insane pools that they used to have on the Discovery Channel with what's his name? I don't even know if they still show that anymore. It was insane pools. I forget the guy, but he used to build the most incredible pools. I mean, they had to have been hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe in the millions, with rocks and trees and lighting and hot tubs and just insane. But it's a great show. I wish they'd bring it back. But I just want a nice in-ground pool. But I've been battling now for almost 20 years. Our house is almost 20 years old. And I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Now, see, the one thing is when we built our house, we were in, what do they call it? Phase? Yeah, it was phase 2 of three-phase building. And it was promised there would be a pool and there would be a clubhouse. There would be a walking track. There would be all these little extra amenities, which was kind of a really good selling point. We got the walking track. We got really, really, really good street lights. We've got very nice entrances and exits. They do them up nice with the flowers and the lighting and everything. No clubhouse and no pool. And I don't think we're ever going to have one. So I keep asking for us to get a pool. And I don't think it's going to happen. But you can't say that I haven't put up the long fight, because it's been almost 20 years. I'm not going to stop. I'll keep going. I'll fight the good fight. But I know in the end, it's not going to happen. All right, we'll take a break. 330-821-1310. You can text the show 330-924-7088. We'll get back to our hardest thing to do in sports. What do you think it is? Throw a perfect game, have a hole-in-one, bowl of 300, run a 4-minute mile. We'll get into that, and we'll wrap things up here at 6 o'clock tonight, 1310 WDPN and AM 1310 WDPN.com. Stay with us.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
At YMCA Summer Camp, kids find their why. Friendship and fun, a world of adventure beneath a golden sun. Running, laughing, full of wonder. Being themselves is second nature. Summer camp is where they begin to unlock the confidence that lies within. When kids find new passions, they find their why. Summer camp season starts soon. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, we got about 6 or 7 minutes before we wrap things up. If you want to get a quick phone call in, love to hear from you, 330-821-1310. And don't forget, when you get on your social media platforms, 1310 WDPN, Q92 Radio, Q92 Sports, make sure you like our Facebook page and follow and share and interact with us, because we certainly enjoy doing that with you. Man, I just saw this. Just happened a minute ago. I just saw this, was just scrolling around here on CNN, on Twitter. And if you're a Food Network watcher like I am, and I know Rainsburg is, a lot of you are, Annie Burrell passed away. She was one of the really popular Food Network chefs. She was only 55 years of age. Man, passed away this morning at her home in New York, according to the network. Burrell's family said in a statement provided by the Food Network that her light radiated far beyond those she knew, touching millions across the world. Though she is no longer with us, her warmth, spirit, and boundless love remains eternal. 55.
Dude, that's Guy Fieri's wife, isn't it?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No.
They're just always in shows together.
Yeah.
I
no.
legitimately thought they were married all this time.
No.
She just looks like she'd be his wife, you know?
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. 55 years old. No cause of death was provided yet. Man alive. That's sad. That's sad. We, I watch a lot of Food Network or Food Channel or whatever. There's Food Network, and then there's another one.
No,
they're like on the same tier.
There's
like
only Food Network.
Well, there's similar. Like, you know how they do, they bunch the groups of channels together.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 of them. There's a Food Network. There might be like a Food Channel. And then there's another one But I usually watch Food Network a lot. And I love watching, Guy Fieri, and I love watching Chopped.
Chopped
I love watching
Chopped is so good.
Beat Bobby Flay was always kind of fun.
I love Chopped because every time I watch it, there's some new ingredient that I've never heard of. Like they pulled that out from Mars. I don't know what they're talking about.
Man,
why is that herb pink?
Right. Annie Burrell passed away at the age of 55. Man, that's too young. That's just way, way too young. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we're going to talk a little college baseball as the College World Series continues. And again, we'll crown a champion this weekend in Omaha, Nebraska. We are going to go back in time tomorrow, and we're going to relive and enjoy and just chop it up about the Kent State Golden Flashes baseball team in 2012, the year they went all the way to Omaha, Nebraska, actually won a game in the College World Series. They had a tremendous year. They had great players. Scott Strickland was their coach. He would go on to coach at Georgia down the road. But one of the best pitching coaches in the country is at Kent State, and that's Mike Birkbeck. He's going to join us tomorrow at around 4:10, 4:15, and we're going to talk about the 2012 Kent State Golden Flashes. I am looking forward to that. That's tomorrow around 4:15 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and it's been a while. It's been 13 years. Some of the players on that team.
Oh man,
Sutton. What? I can't remember his first name. Not Todd. Todd was the dad. From Glen Oak. Shame on me. It says I just can't remember right now. Nick Hamilton was on that team. Tom Hamilton's son. Hammy, who does the play-by-play for the Guardians, his son was on that team. There was just a great. I mean, they had a great year. They had an incredible year, and we'll talk to Coach Birkbeck about that tomorrow here on 1310 WDPN. NHL tonight. I think it's over. Tonight. I think the Florida Panthers again are going to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to do it again. And, man, who would have thought years and years and years and years ago, decades ago, that the state of Florida would be a hotbed of hockey? People laughed at the NHL when they decided to put teams in Florida, the Tampa Bay Lightning and then the Florida Panthers. They laughed at them. Go back and look at the last, 7-10 years, it's been the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are ruling the roost in the NHL. I think that comes to an end tonight. We got the Guardians tonight against the Giants. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll have On This Day in Sports History. We'll have another outstanding poll question tomorrow. And we'll get you ready as we'll be halfway through the week and look ahead to the rest of the week here on 1310 WDPN. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg. Thanks to all of you for listening, calling, commenting, texting. We really appreciate you. We really do. We hope you join us every Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 here on 1310 WDPN. Thanks to my guest today, Shane Byler from Lake Center Christian. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the ride today, everybody. Don't forget now, go Guards, go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump met with